Hey everyone, welcome back to the Forging Futures YouTube channel. I'm your host, Stanton Jones, and I'm really happy you could join me today because I get to share with you something that I've recently figured out. I've been working on this for a while, and now that I've kind of got it, I want to share it with you because I think that's really important as a maker to share what we've learned. I didn't originate this. This is not my technique. This is something that I've learned from some other people, and I want to share it with you. Forging a point. It is necessary for bladesmithing if you want to forge your blades to shape instead of doing a lot of stock removal, but it's also applicable to a lot of blacksmithing projects. If you want to do a point on some round stock or square stock or something to make a decorative blacksmith project, this is a very basic skill, but it's so commonly used. So it's really imperative that you learn it and master it. You won't master it overnight. I'm still working on this skill. I still screw it up, but that's what practice is for. So let's get into it. I'm going to get some metal and I'm going to explain to you how we do it, or how I do it, on a piece of cold steel, and then we'll get the forge lit and I'll show you how I do it. Let's get started. Okay, this is a piece of 1.5 inch wide by like 1/8 inch thick 1084 flat stock. And real quick, I just want to walk you through the process. Originally I thought, oh, I'll just start, forging it, hitting it this way, and that will forge out a point. Well, that's incorrect, because actually what you do is the tips, these corners, start migrating together, but this material here in the center doesn't move. So these edges will wrap around and create what's called a fish mouth, and that's bad because that will eventually create a cold shed. So what you actually want to do is working on the corner of the anvil, and I'll lift mine up at a slight angle. Instead of striking straight down, I'm actually striking back towards me at an angle on the corner. That's pushing the material, pushing this material backwards. It's pushing the corners back towards each other, and the material in the middle is forced out. As I do this, then I can work from a little bit farther back and work towards the tip, and then work the corners again. It may not make much sense now, but as I actually start to move the material, it'll make sense when you see it. So let me get the forge lit and I'll show you. Okay, here we go. Holding it on the edge, striking the corner. Strike a few times. See how I'm driving the material backwards? You can see this corner started to drive backwards. This one, I didn't hit it quite enough of an angle and it started to roll over. Now, I want to make sure to keep it flat as I work it. Also, this piece was not cut perfectly flat, so that kind of set me up bad to begin with. Get it hot again. fine point, which is hard to do on this particular anvil. It's not really an anvil. Now, it's not perfect. Like I said, I'm still practicing. I still have a long way to go. But you can see how I was able to draw out that center section of material without drawing the corners over and fish mouthing it to get a nice even point. And from here, I can forge out the rest of the shape of my knife. Which, if you'd like to know how to do that, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to do that in another video. Well, there you go. There's kind of a rough and dirty example of how to forge a point from a piece of square stock. The same principle works just fine with square stock or round stock or anything like that. The only difference is you're going to hit it on more sides as opposed to just the two upright corners. Like square stock, you would hit on all four sides. Round stock, you would start on four sides and then start on the corner of those four sides and work it, you know, basically into an octagon, and then keep working those corners until you get a nice even cone. The same principle applies to all material. I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be a master of this. I'm still practicing on this, and it's going to take you quite a bit of practice to get this technique down. But it's worth it because if you want to forge your own blades and you want to do some blacksmithing, it's a practice that you're really going to have second nature. So get out there, practice it. Let me know if this helped. If you got any questions, put them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, forge your own future and make stuff.